Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast. And today is in episode 139. Today we are going to dive into the separation of your twin flame, of this journey, the meaning of the separation, what are the stages of your separation, and why does it hurt you so bad? While we often on this journey, we can think about the separation. We keep on looking for the information about separation here and there. And we're trying to figure it out when this separation will end. And today's episode that is a little bit in a paradox. And why is it in a paradox is because if we focus on a separation, we will stay in a separation. And if we focus in an inner union, we stay in an inner union. Sounds very simple on this twin flame journey. Well, start feeling today the inner union. Shift yourself energetically. Do this, do that, and your twin flame is back in your life. Well, as we know, twin flame journey, meeting your twin flame was a purpose for you to dig deeper. So is separation, what is trying to teach you, what is trying to show you, and also to come to this inner union. So today's episode, in that sense, I'm going to be very honest, is a little bit weird, but I wanted it, and maybe it's also for quite some time, I will no longer speak about separation. Why? Because what we focus on will expand. So if you wake up every day and feeling, we are in a separation, I'm in a separation with my twin flame, I don't hear from them, they don't contact me, we are blocked in places, we don't talk to each other, I feel separate, I feel all of that, then we keep on expanding the same energy over and over and over again. Although you have heard me talking a lot about inner union, that your twin flame will return back to your life when you feel this inner union, when you feel the oneness, when you have felt, wow, all of this love is inside of me and it was actually never outside. My twin flame was just a mirror for me to see what the true love is and awaken this love that is not in a fear state, abandonment, rejection, feeling that you need to prove for people to love you, and so on and so on. So they came to your life as a gift to show you what is a love beyond time and space. But as simple as it sounds, there is a process of the separation. And today I want to dive into the twin flame separation stages. I often talk about on this journey about how we have stages, and we can't expect that everything will shift to you today, here and there. When people have calls with me or we do the sessions and the workshops and everything, I always say be kind to yourself and let's begin from the beginning. If you are just starting from the place of your soul has a shock, you feel what just happened to me, why they ghosted me, why all of this, then during this time I can't tell you, oh, you need to feel inner union. During this time we need to focus on that mind and soul battle. It's part of the process. And today we're going through the stages, what are there and how the inner union eventually will arrive. Just right before we're going to do that, I want to say we chose the winners for the $100 who left a comment on my YouTube or Spotify channel. Thank you so much. I am on track of replying to all of your comments. They are so beautiful, so supportive, and I truly, truly want to say thank you for this community. Twin flame souls are special. I don't like to obviously put anyone in a pedestal or saying who is better or not, but your energy is divine. And also about So I just want to quickly say the names that I haven't got in touch with. I've only managed to send it to Marietta, but please, Julia from Poland, whose comment was, I have felt embodiment of my femininity today. My twin sparkled with me with my own strength, fragility, and power. In 3D, I may not seem as a successful woman, but I do feel woman with all my connections to nature, to earth. I'm very grateful for your voice and your podcast so far. Spreading love from Poland, Julia. Julia, please send me your details that we could send you an energy exchange. And Adela Arubanova 4203, who just said thank you. This is actually this comment, one of the ways I really, really loved it. Because sometimes in this life you need to just say thank you. Thank you to your twin flame. Thank you for this earth. Thank you for the universe. Thank you for the kindness. Thank you for love. Thank you. Just thank you. Just today also from this episode, take with you, thank you. I'm going to say thank you. And then we had Marietta Cosa, who I got in touch with, so all good. And she said, thanks, B. It was so liberating to hear that separation is a process and it's not my fault. Oh my, how many times I've judged myself unnecessary, but it's finally over. And for the first time, I'm able to accept the love from people and from myself. I'm not run away from it. I think this is my masculine part in me who can accept finally the love. That's beautiful. And what I want to say about this comment, I will actually put at the end of the podcast what she's feeling now. And I want to say one more thing about this podcast, the group what we have. I'm a believer that we live in an infinite, abundant universe. And I'm also a believer that your twin flame came to awaken you to the highest potential you could ever become by opening your heart and seeing the world from the space of 5D, meaning your heart. 5D is in your heart. That's why the Kundalini is working from the 3 lower chakras that are normally blocked, enters to the heart, and then you see the world absolutely in a different color. And my podcast, my workshops, everything are built for you to receive. Because we often don't know how to receive. The universe wants to give you. The universe wants to give you love, abundance, health, wealth, everything the universe wants to give you. But your energetic body is blocked of receiving it because it either believes it's in a separation, either believes in a past trauma, either believes in that someone else is in charge, blame, judgment, so on and so on. I'm not. But my workshops, in that sense, you can join them on Patreon. There are recordings and everything. Like I say, I don't advertise them in a sense of come to my workshops, come to my things, do the Kundalini activations. Magic will start to happen to your life. That has never been my intention because I believe that the energy connects to you when you need it. It's a divine energy, and that's why the connection with your twin is divine. It's not something commercial, I would say. It's divine, sacred, beautiful, deep, something that only your soul understands. And only those who have experienced something so deep can understand and connect. And the group of people or souls I am beyond thankful. You don't know when we do the group activations, when we do how the energy is so loving, so beautiful, despite the fact that you might be going through the hardest time at the moment. Everything is collapsing. But your soul essence is a vibration from the level that we can't deny. And that's why for me, on my podcast, on my workshops, showing you how you can receive abundance, how you can receive love, but it has to come that you feel and embody this. I can talk hours here, but once you feel and embody, magic starts to happen. But today I just want to talk about the stages of a separation, what our mind and soul is doing on that time. And that's why there is no such a thing that, oh, do the meditation today, you will feel so good. There's a process, like in everything. There was another day, I practiced Kundalini yoga in the morning, and I saw that my partner was upset. He woke up, he had some, like, I could sense the energy that there is a bit of someone is upset. And I just said to him that, how about you wake up tomorrow with me at 5 a.m. and let's do it together, like you would feel much better, you will feel lighter, you will feel more aligned. And he looked at me, and I loved his answer, what he said to me. I'll come when I'm ready. And that answer, I'll come when I'm ready, was so profound for me to realize, yes, of course. The fact that I have embodied what I have embodied right now, it does not mean that I would have done this, let's say, even 3 years ago. 3 years ago, if someone would have told me, get up at 5 a.m. and start practicing Kundalini yoga, doing these weird exercises, I would have been like, I don't get it. I don't understand. What's the point? Maybe same with meditation. What's the point for me to do that? Why I have to do this? But now, as my soul has come to this point, this is like a nectarine. This is like the nectar for me to connect to my soul, to connect to my oneness, unity, and showing and being an example. But it's not. And that's why we don't get there just like overnight. Believe me, it has taken me some time to get where I am today, and I don't know where it comes from here. I have a lot to learn, a lot to expand. That's why it's a process, and whichever stage you are in it today, be kind to yourself and realize that is where I am today. But I know if I keep on continuing, something will change and shift. And you have that power. So let's begin with the first thing. What it is that the first stage of separation is shock and soul disorientation. And so we can here say that how can something that felt so real, you felt such a real connection, you might have a relationship together, you might have so much love together, there was so much oneness, and it's so real, and suddenly it's gone. And the conscious mind of your goes into the confusion from here on. So that's the first part, when you get the ghosting, or they leave you, or they no longer talk to you, or they don't show up. And you start obsessively analyzing, what did I do wrong? Was it even real? Was that connection even real? How many times I have heard where people say, what, is that real what I'm feeling? And then my reverse question to this is always, but can you deny it? Can you deny that you felt some electricity? You felt something so deep and beautiful? Can you today tell me that it never happened? And then we would question these questions. What did I do wrong? Was it even real? Did I imagine it all? Did I make it up? And that's where the ego is trying to grasp for control and trying to make sense of something rational. But somehow on this journey, the mind is never supposed to understand this connection, because it's a very deep soul shock, where the soul gets awakened, like I say, like a lightning bolt. That's why many of you are feeling the Kundalini energy on that time. It can come later. It does not have to happen immediately. But it's like someone has put electricity inside of you. Sometimes it takes longer because our soul needs a little bit time. That's why also, if you expect that your twin felt the same electricity exact same time, do not expect things on this journey. Don't expect anything what others would feel. But in general, when you are in oneness and in love, there is a very high chance that they felt it too. And I've heard that from many of you. This is why I love when you are coming on the calls with me and you share your stories where you say, but my twin said to me this, and I didn't even notice that, and this and this. And actually all of that happened, but it's a soul shock. I call that a big soul shock. The first separation stage is a soul shock. All of a sudden, you feel so much love, you feel so much connection with the birds, with the animals, with the universe, with everything, and then it's gone, like it never happened. But for your soul, in a sense, your soul knows what's happening. It's all planned. It's all planned. But your energetic body experiences like the tear, that everything starts to come out of you. And the spirit now begins the process of deep activation, even though it feels like death. And so in the sense of the shock, what you're getting from there is not a sign of loss. It's a wake-up call. And I want to say it also in today's last part of the podcast where I explain about it. When you focus on a separation, I'm in a separation, we are in a separation, and you keep on saying these things, you are keeping the same loop and energetic blueprint all the time, the separation blueprint. But again, when the first part of the shock is happening, it's normal to call this separation. It's very normal because your mind and soul are now in a fight. And I'm going to say some of you are no longer in that stage. So there are stages that's going to come. So the second part of the separation stage is where the longing and energetic obsession will begin. Why can't I stop thinking about? Why do I still feel about them? Why I can't move on? Why I just can't do this and this and this and this? And during this time, your mind, you might experience very obsessive thoughts, dreams, telepathy. You can feel that they are next to you while they are not. You can feel they are thinking of you. And you don't understand what's happening. The mental body of yours is looping and starts to seek for resolutions, replaying the memories. You read the old messages over and over and over again. You're starting to think, did I do something wrong? And you're trying to grasp the other person's energy to feel once again that love, that connection that was there for that moment. And this is the survival mind trying to reconnect with the source of safety. And so the mind is trying to that if I'm going to get them in my life, I'm going to feel this way. And that's why I say, I've said that on my previous podcast, twin flame, this energy, the energetic connection what you have is a little bit like a drug. And it really feels like a drug because you feel like if I don't get that attention from them, if I don't hear from them saying I love you, then I am in lack. I cannot. But the moment you hear that, it's like, I feel this again, but then the doubt starts to come in because it's always, they can tell you anything. If you are not in the inner union, it doesn't matter. But for the soul, this is the time where a soul uses this phase to highlight attachment, energetic dependencies, the wounded inner child. And this is where a very deep emotional patterning surfaces. And your soul starts to speak to you. Your soul starts to speak to you, saying to you, why do you believe that there is a separation? Why don't you trust what you feel? Why don't you connect to your inner self more? And your soul really starts to awaken to tell you a lot of things. You might start even channeling your twin's messages. And it's like you are, it's like all of a sudden you don't understand what's happening to you because the senses are so heightened from that obsession. And of course, during this time, we might watch endless videos about twin flames. we match what the tarot, we find this comfort from somewhere. Everything is fine. I'm just always going to say that as we are moving towards with the stages, because you shift and change on this journey, try not to forget your practices and your energetic blueprint. So in the sense of the second part, the longing and energetic obsession is an invitation to come back home to yourself. Their absence is the portal to your presence. Why do we read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle? Because to learn to come to presence. But we are, again, there is still the fight position where you're obsessed. You want to know what they feel. You want to know what is happening to them. Anything that you could get some peace, and you're looking for their attention. And that's a very, very normal stage. And there is nothing to feel that you are doing wrong. Now, after that full obsession state where you cannot breathe, understand, connect, like you are only obsessing what they might be thinking, when they're going to message me, when we're going to see, when they're going to tell me that they love me, comes the third stage, and that's the identity crisis and ego death, so-called dark night of the soul. You might start asking yourself a question like, what's the point of my life? I don't have them in my life. I feel miserable. So many things are falling apart. I don't even know who I am anymore. So your sense of self begins to crumble. You don't know who you are anymore. And that is the problem, where we are trying to put the old you into that new frequency because your heart was open, and it somehow doesn't make sense. I often get asked this question when people are asking me like, oh, where are you from? And what's your background and everything? And my answer is often like, I'm the citizen of the world. I am from nowhere, and at the same time, I'm from everywhere. I don't know. This is just something that doesn't come naturally. Or the same when it comes to any kind of, I don't know. And I'm okay of answering, I don't know. Whether people say, are you spiritual? Are you religious? And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel what I feel. Or why do I do what I do? Sometimes my soul asks me to do weird things, I tell you that, and I go and do, and I don't know why. But it did not come easily to me. My ego was very, very strong. And when the ego death is happening, it's like where your job can disappear. Your friends can disappear. The places you used to live, the places you used to love, the food you used to love. So many things that you thought is you, all of a sudden energetically are no longer you. But that's also one of the part of why I love Kundalini energy. Why I love working with the energy to change you from the cellular level. Not from the mind, but from the cellular. That's why you feel the sexual energies you never felt before. You feel this lost, like, oh, I used to be this one, but I'm no longer interested of this. This is not something that excites me. Your friends have changed. Maybe the place you live, maybe your workplace, you get fired, all of this. And you no longer can say, yes, I am a teacher of this school and I do this. All of a sudden you don't know who you are. And you don't even know actually what you're talking anymore. Like all of a sudden, like a ghost have taken you over. But your mind still remembers a certain part of you that, oh, I am Maria and I like to sing and I like to go to this work. But then you're like, am I Maria? Do I like to sing? Do I like my job? Or I don't even have job anymore, maybe. What just happened to me? Why I want to be alone? So when the ego experiences death, because the identity is formed around this connection is no longer being validated externally. So it's very difficult process. But for your soul, even through praying, you're shedding your skins off. Your higher self, and that's why I say you can start talking things that you never spoke before. You can start looking for that deeper connection that you didn't know. You start looking into meditations all of a sudden. You want to go into the nature. You feel like, I need to heal myself or transform myself or transmute myself. And what is beautiful about that fact that universe is never punishing you. Separation is not the punishment. The fact that you don't hear from your twin is not a punishment for you. It is a gift, and universe is not punishing you. And if you now just even close your eyes for a moment and you realize how much magic universe have sent you on this journey, whether it's a healer, whether it's some kind words, or the book you read, or the music you listened that awakened so much deepness inside of you, opened your psychic abilities, so many things that you didn't even know that you are capable of doing. And that deep, deep, deep part of you is now awakened. Is it easy? No. But your higher self is breaking through these false identities and conditioning, so you can reclaim your divine essence, divine who you really are. And this is where the Kundalini often activates or becomes very strong, because it's rising to burn through the illusion. That's why I say that Kundalini is not for everyone. I don't market this. I don't say, oh, wow, Kundalini, come and do the Kundalini activations. Your life is going to change. You're going to feel, yes, your life is going to change if you're ready for it. But your soul has to seek for it. Your soul has to connect to it. And once it's there, it's there. And it might take 6 months, 8 months, even a year once it activates, or even 10 years. And what is the identity crisis and ego death? What is here to remember is that you are not losing yourself. Let go of the labels, let go of everything. You are actually starting to remembering the self that existed before any name, any title, any role. It's you coming home to you. And as we know, this is a part of why we talk about it. When your twin made you feel like home. Did on that moment, I'm actually asking today from you. On that moment when you felt home with your twin, did any of the labels, any of the things matter to you? Did it matter what is your status? Did it matter how much money you have? Did it matter what kind of profession you have? Did it matter your religion? Did it matter your name? Did any of these things even appear when you were? No. Or maybe yes. I just want you that you think of it. What did you feel on that moment when you felt home? I let you to think about it a little bit. So now from here we go to the fourth stage of the separation, and that's where the resistance and emotional purging starts to come in. Where you start asking yourself, I just want this pain to go away. I don't want to feel it anymore. I am done. I don't want to feel any of this anymore. Can I get rid of it? And that's why I say why many of us don't step into the healing process. Here is exactly the breaking point. And that can be longer, but I always say you can't escape it. When your soul is awakened, there's no way to escape. Yeah, you can suppress it. There are ways to suppress, whether it's the antidepressants, alcohol, pornography, going out, partying. I don't know. There are many ways. Or scrolling on social media constantly and trying to get answers. But what is funny that your body is so ready for it, for this emotional purging, that you will cry any place or anything. Like you will just cry out of nowhere. you will feel a lot of emotions, whether it's like everything your body is starting to do for you. But of course, here I'm saying that's the moment now to step into energetic exchange. So during this time, your mind tries to shut you down or bypass you at this point. And like I said, your addictions may surface. You're scrolling on social media, food, distraction, spiritual bypassing. You're trying to become numb to it. You're also like, I don't believe in this twin flame thing, whatever it is. I want to move. I don't want to feel any more of that pain because this pain is taking me over. It's killing me inside. I cannot breathe anymore. And you really start to deny the connection. And emotional waves, you are like a roller coaster. That's why I say when you often have a call with me, now I'd say it out, but normally I don't say that you have at the end of the day, like we do a little activation. And I always say for the next 21 days, be ready, it's going to be emotional. That's one of the things that a lot of us have a misconception about healing. That we think, let's say the same as I use the Kundalini energy to heal and transform, that we need to feel good. And I'm like, how can you feel good when you have a pain inside there? You're going to feel that pain. You're going to cry, you're going to shake, you're going to have so many things that are going to come out, but they have to come out. You don't want that your energetic body is holding it. But this is a moment, like I say, the resistant and emotional purging is a time where we can keep ourselves on a loop. And again, I bring it in here, the same example as saying, I'll come when I'm ready. But I am going to say that universe is supporting you. It always sends you help. But for the spirit, for the soul, the emotional purging is a soul detox. Every suppressed emotion, belief, trauma stored in your energetic body is coming to surface to be seen. And this is the stage which can feel like madness, but it is a fire that is igniting. The feminine and masculine within you are being forced to meet. And that's what I've spoken about previously on my podcast, that there is no I am feminine twin and I am masculine twin. And I know I go against the popular ideas here, but you have these energies inside of you. They're not outside of you. You have both sides of the energies. Females have to carry a little bit more of a feminine energy, men more of a masculine energy, yin yang, to melt them together. But you are not only one energy. I like this another day when I keep on hearing, we are feminine twins, and I'm like, well, one of the number one thing of being a feminine twin is that you don't chase, you attract. So, but if you are chasing, how can you be a feminine twin? I like again to think about this a little bit. What I mean is you have both of these energies and you need to merge these energies into the inner union. And now we're getting to the point of the inner union. So this fourth stage of resistant and emotional purging is a time for you to shift something on your journey. If you would like to have a different outcome, you need to go deep. There is nothing else. Whether, like I said, you start with a small meditations. If meditations are too difficult, find yourself where you can go and get deep. I'm always going to say, very helpful for men. I know I have more now men listeners as well. Like, for example, holotropic breath work and things like this will be very helpful to quiet the mind, who has a very ego, that ego is trying to constantly control, find the ways. And so having a breath work calms down the ego. Same on Kundalini yoga, doing the ego like killing. In that sense, we use the breath that the ego cannot come through, that your souls will start to speak. I highly recommend you, if you are listening to this podcast today and it's your first time, or you've been thinking, I need to have some shift or change because this pain and the longing and all of this inside, do something new that you haven't done before. And at the end of the podcast, I also talk about it, what happens when you stop consuming the idea of separation and you go into the idea of union. Like how easily you can shift and change. So now the 5th stage is awakening to the inner union. And I remember, and I've said that, I know, I keep on repeating certain things. When I felt that inner union inside of me, when I felt the love and I realized maybe it wasn't about my twin at all, maybe it was all about me. He came to awaken me and save me. He saved my life. I know that. Because the condition I was in was dangerous. The way I was treating myself, the way my energetic body was in the verge of collapsing, and he saved my life with love. That's why today we can understand each other so well, because we saved each other without knowing of who we are. Like, it's incredible. So what happens is that, and that's why I say from this 4th stage to 5th stage, your mind needs to soften. And that's only through practices. Maybe, and maybe I'm wrong here, you can do that just by being and waiting for this to pass. From my understanding and experience, it is about getting into your deep, deep heart. And like I said, whether it's meditation, whether it's holotropic breathwork or breathwork, Kundalini activations, Reiki, yoga. Do you know what yoga means? Yoga means union. So union with your body, mind, and soul. Vipassana. What else and you can also write down the comments, what were the things that were helping you tremendously? Journaling, but you need to go in. So the mind starts to soften and a new kind of clarity will start to arise. Not from the intellect, not that someone's from knowing, I know how it is, I know, but from the heart. You start feeling the heart, and I tell you that this is why I do my retreats and workshops. Because when I felt that inner union from the heart, it was like something exploded inside of me. And that's why I often say to people when I talk about it, when you feel that, you'll understand that. But it's the same, like when you meet your twin, you'll understand this. We don't get there with the mind. It does not happen. So do yourself a favor to shift it from today. So the mind begins to surrender it needs for answers, that it constantly is on that loop. What's happening? What is there? Why am I feeling this? What is this? And you start journaling, meditating, creating. And your soul starts to reclaim the knowing. The divine feminine and masculine energies within you start communicating again. They're one. And inner union is awakening, not as a concept, but a lived frequency. You are realizing that you are your own home, the home that you felt. And here is something very, very important now. Union is not something you wait for. It's something you remember. You are already, and you always were. But through that pain, through that suffering, you get there. And I'm not saying we need to suffer and feel the pain, but it's part of the process. And then comes the final stage, embodiment and alignment. And I often speak about embodiment. I say I can say a million words to you. I can do this podcast for 10 hours long and tell you what it is, why it is, this, that. But if you don't embody, you can't be in alignment. And And that's where it changes, when the heart opens. Heart chakra meditation. Please do that on my Patreon or Joe Dispenza's or whoever. I always say, you listen to your soul, what it says. Because now for the mental body serves the heart, not the fear. The fear is out of you. Your thought becomes tool of alignment, not the survival. You're no longer in the fight and flight, when they're going to say, when they're going to come, if they're going to come, am I going to be... No. You're starting to live more present. Again, the power of now. You come to this moment. When people ask me, how can I be in peace as I am today? I look at them, I said, but all I have is right now, right here. All I have is right now, right here. And I try to take the most of it. I can't jump to tomorrow, or I can't jump into 5 years, and I don't even want to, because these little moments, like I say, the moments with you on the calls, or the moments with you on the workshops, or the moments with you on the retreats or things, I want to be there. I want that my body remembers everything, because there's so much beauty. But you might still think of them, of course, but without the need that you need to have them. You wish them love and you feel complete without an outcome. But this comes from the embodiment and alignment, and your frequency have to change. And for your soul, you have integrated by that time the codes of unconditional love, and that was the first lesson for you to learn. Your field shifts. And I am here to say, and I've said that all the time, when you shift your field, the magic starts to happen in your life. That's why I also like to give away certain things. I like to surprise sometimes people when my soul tells me something. Like on a last workshop we had this, you can go and have a look on a Patreon. My soul told me in the morning that this person deserves, I had one ticket over for the Justin Timberlake's concert. And my soul in the morning literally said, she is the one who's going to get that VIP ticket. And she was the one who wrote that she would love to go there, but due to her circumstances, she couldn't. I am a believer of magnetism, and I'm a believer that we all are universe. And if we operate from the space of heart, we bring the love, and you can be in a union. You can be 100% in a union. And I've said that when you magnetize new timelines, not because you're trying to attract your twin flame, but because you are the divine frequency of divine love. Love comes to you because you are a magnet. And you are no longer chasing, you are creating, you are no longer in separation. You are in a union, and union will find you. It will find you. And why do I say this? And I say another thing. We often think that when we were on the stage of 4, where I say now it's time to step and change your frequency. And then we think we have to stop from there. Once we say you are in a union, now it's time to stop. I got this, it's all good. I just want to tell you that it's an ongoing process. Practice, connect, take care of your mind, take care of your soul. It does not ask much. It asks maybe 15, 20 minutes a day to connect to you. That you would hear what the heart is telling you, and you follow your heart, and you go where the heart tells you, not where the mind tries to take you. Now here I'm going to say why you should change your habits of looking into the separation or using the separation. You might be thinking that if you let go of the idea of separation, you mean that you let go of them, because I am in separation. What are you talking about it? I feel all of that, depending on which stage you are. But no, it means that you are letting go of the version of them that only exists in pain. You are letting go of the cycle that keeps you wanting, hurting, and abandoning yourself over and over and over again. And in doing so, you are inviting the real union. Union is not a point in the future, it's a vibration you come into. You have to step into that vibration. And I know it, when I say this, if I would have heard that when I was in that deep, deep pain, I wouldn't understand this. I was like, what do you mean? I'm going to repeat, I'm in a union, I'm in a union, I'm in a union, I'm in a union. No. You just start going step by step. And when you meet yourself in that vibration, when you truly return to your home, that's where everything shifts. Everything shifts from there. And that's when the communication comes back again. And I've seen that many times when I don't want to say this with an intention that you would do the activation or channeling for that purpose, so please. But I've seen many times when you have done the activations with me, the Kundalini activations, and your twin reaches out to you. Or you get the message, or something is happening. And I'm going to repeat this. The idea is not that I say that come to the activation and your twin will reach out to you. If you come with an expectation like this, nothing will happen. Why I'm just saying it is that when you shift that, and you come to the home and you feel that peace, calmness, everything, that's where it shifts and the communication comes in. Because you are no longer in need. Because you feel the love inside of you so completely. And it no longer matters what happens. And here is the paradox again with that. When you stop chasing love, love finds you. When you stop focusing what is missing, you become the magnet what is for meant. And here, I just bring a simple example. Think of it as salesman. Let's say the salesman wants to sell you which was the most popular for a while, vacuum cleaners. They used to come, Let's just bring it in. And the salesman keeps on calling you. I want to give you that vacuum cleaner. And in certain ways, you might need that vacuum cleaner. You don't have one. But as this person keeps on bothering you, keeps on pushing, you become resentful. You're like, I don't want your vacuum cleaner. Let me make a decision. And it's the same here. When you push, the other one feels, I don't want that. But when you feel, oh, look, here is a vacuum cleaner. It can do this, it can do that. If you're interested, here we go. And you feel you have a choice of freedom and you feel, oh, do I really need this? Or I'm okay. So, just to think of that. I actually wanted to read you about the inner union. And I said to you, and today is a weird episode in that sense that I talk a lot about that. My podcast, the group of people we have, or our podcast actually, my main intention is always to show you that you can have all of the magic. That's why I don't say exactly what we do in the workshops. We don't obsess over twin flames in the sense of they have to come back this. It's about embodiment. And that's why I love your comments. I love when you share your perspective. Even if it doesn't align with me, I'm okay. I am absolutely okay. Like, I love seeing what you see. There's so much in our hearts. And I just want to say that one of the beautiful souls whose comment was here as well, who won the $100, like I said, because I wanted that you experience receiving. When you learn to receive, you receive the love, you receive the connection, you receive everything. And so one of the souls who wrote to me says, I still can't believe it that is happening right now or right here at this moment. I'm fully energized with lots of love and with lots of gratitude. My life has completely turned around. I don't know that it is from yesterday, from your gift, or from our last channeling and activation session, but everything is so different and magical. Doors are opening before me. People are nice to me. It seems like the universe supporting all of my steps, and I am so grateful. I never thought I could feel such a happiness alone. Maybe this is the union. Maybe the union is happening right now. I don't know, but I wish This feeling never ends because this is so magical and so high frequencies. Oh, amazing. So isn't that interesting that what I speak about it? The inner union and what starts to happen. And like I said on my last podcast, who doesn't want to be a magnet? That you attract the most beautiful people. I want to say really that people in my group are the most beautiful souls you can ever meet. So you are lucky if these are your colleagues or also you get to share the field with them. You're very lucky. One of the most beautiful souls. And I'm so proud of them, or proud of you, of showing up to the workshops, showing up to show your vulnerability, to talk about it, share about it. Because I know that one day I was at some of your weddings, and I can feel that eternal love, divine love. I know that. Everything is possible. You live in an infinite universe. Okay, my dears. So that was today's episode, which I said the separation has stages. Whichever stage you are in it right now, it's all right. Step by step, but do not break on the stage 4. Stage 4 is your invitation. So, what is happening with us? Patreon, we have the last workshop is up there, and also we will meet again on 13th of July. Lionsgate tickets will come on a sale. It will be first for the Patreon members, and then for the rest of the public who wants to join. Because Lionsgate is a time of abundance, we most probably will do the 40 days challenge for it. If you feel the call that I need to speak this out, I need energetic upgrade, I need to see what my soul is telling me through channeling, all of this is possible. Just please note that there are less availabilities at this moment, so book it ahead, as I might not be able to do the last minute option. So twinflameawakeningjourney.com, and I am more than happy to connect, because I know you are a magnet that is just looking for that vibration of love, connection, beauty within you. It was great to spend some time together, and I'll see you here hopefully on the next episode. From June, I will also read your stories a little bit, so feel free to send them. I have a couple of them already lined up, but let's do this summer a little bit of your journey, a little bit love, a little bit pain, a little bit confusion, separation, everything. Thank you for being here. Lots of love and light.
We're going under, and there's nothing we can do. You've become me, and I've become you in this story. It's such a heartbeat pounding in your chest. The final hour before we let it go to rest. And in our story, in the story, if you make no promise, there's no regret. It's over by the time you finish your cigarette. We're so into blue skies, but we don't hear the thunder. We're dreaming about the past, but going under. We're going under. All for the better, we turn and walk away. All for the better, at least that's what they say. And now it's over, and now it's over. Wish we